The station looked almost empty, just fluorescent lights and tired strangers. Rainwater gathered near the platform edge, reflecting everything upside down. You sat beside me without speaking, hands folded quietly in your lap. The space between our shoulders felt larger than the city outside. An announcement echoed through the station. Neither one of us looked up, like missing the train on purpose could somehow delay the ending. You asked, do you think we tried enough? I stared at the wet tracks and said, I think we stayed longer than most people would. The saddest part of love is how gently it disappears sometimes. We almost stayed forever. Didn't we almost build a life together? Almost learned how to survive the distance. Almost became the kind of people who never let go. But the train left without us, and somehow it felt exactly like our story. Your reflection trembled in the windows, blue lights moving across your face. You looked beautiful in that moment, in the heartbreaking, honest kind of way. I remembered all the tiny things suddenly, your sleepy voice in the kitchen, the way you reached for my sleeve in crowds, the nights we walked home through rain. And for one impossible seconds, I wanted to ask you to stay. Not because I thought it would work, but because loving you still felt natural to me. Outside, the city kept moving, like nothing important was ending. We almost stayed forever, through all the silence, through all the tired conversations, through every version of ourselves. And maybe that's what hurts the most, knowing love existed fully, even if it couldn't survive. Still, the train left without us. Maybe some people are meant to change each other forever, without actually staying forever. Maybe love is not measured by how long it lasts. Maybe some nights alone contain entire lifetimes inside them. And maybe somewhere years from now, you'll hear a train late at night and remember me briefly, the same way I'll remember you. We almost stayed forever, under cold station lights, while rain blurred the world outside. And when your train finally arrived, neither one of us moved immediately, like our hearts needed extra time to understand what was happening. And you smiled softly through tired eyes, picked up your coat and disappeared into the closing doors, while I stayed standing there alone, watching the lights fade into the dark. The station emptied slowly afterward. Rain continued against the tracks, and somewhere far beyond the city, Your train kept moving without me. The sky was turning pale outside, blue fading slowly into gold. We hadn't slept at all, just sat beside the window quietly. Your legs folded beneath the blanket, coffee growing cold between our hands. The city still half asleep below us, streetlights disappearing one by one. We talked about small things mostly, songs we used to love, places we never visited, the strange way time changes people softly. And for the first time in a long while, nothing felt heavy anymore, just tired and honest and strangely peaceful. We kept the night alive a little longer than we should have, watching darkness slowly loosen from the edges of the world, while morning waited patiently outside. And somehow, sitting there beside you, I realized not every love story needs to last forever to remain beautiful. Fogged from our breathing, rainwater still clinging to the glass. You laughed softly at something meaningless, and I remember wishing time moved slower. There was no dramatic ending waiting, no final argument, no desperate attempt to stay. Just two people who once loved each other deeply, learning how to hold memory gently. You rested your head against my shoulder, like old habits surviving naturally. And the silence between us finally felt kind outside. The city began waking up inside. The night still belonged to us, so we kept the night alive until the first train started moving, until the rooftops filled with pale light, until the stars completely disappeared. And somewhere between sadness and acceptance, I finally understood love does not fail simply because it changes form. Maybe every relationship leaves behind a different version of who we become. And maybe that's why certain people stay with us forever. Not physically, not romantically, but quietly. Like music playing from another room, like rain against familiar windows, like warmth returning unexpectedly on cold evenings years later. Still, we kept the night alive long enough to say goodbye softly. The morning light across your face looked gentle somehow, like the world itself understood. And when you finally stood to leave, you smiled the same way you always did. Small, tired, beautiful, before disappearing into the daylight. Why I stayed beside the window, watching the city wake slowly below, feeling sad, feeling grateful, feeling alive. The last streetlight faded quietly. Coffee cups remained beside the window, And somewhere inside the growing light, our story finally learned how to rest. Across the empty soccer field again, streetlights shaking in the rain. You pulled your hands inside your coat, like you were hiding from the cold, or maybe hiding from me. The gravel cracked beneath our feet. You walked slower near the trees. Your hair moved softly with the wind, but you stopped reaching for my hand again. And I kept looking at the ground, like maybe something there could tell us how we ended up so quiet. You said winter always comes too fast. Like that sentence meant more than that. But we kept walking anyway, past the fences, past the light. Neither one of us said goodbye. The night grew larger all around, your shadow moving next to mine, like love was still alive, just harder now to recognize. And we kept walking anyway. A train moved somewhere far from us. Its sound dissolved into the dark. You laughed once under your breath, then disappeared inside yourself again. The wind was cold against your face. You moved a little closer then. Not enough to fix the distance, but enough for me to notice. You asked, do you still think about us? I never answered quite enough, but we kept walking anyway, through the silence, through the rain, like neither heart knew how to leave. Your shoes were wet from crossing grass. The city blurred behind the fog, and for a moment it felt like we were still in love. So we kept walking anyway. Maybe love does not disappear. Maybe it just changes shape into unfinished conversations and memories we cannot place into cold air and tired eyes, into the space between your hand and mine. Still we kept walking anyway, while the streetlights slowly died. You leaned your shoulder into mine, like something soft was still alive. And I remember thinking then, if this is how this story ends, at least the night was beautiful. And you were there beside me. We crossed the empty field again, neither one of us speaking. Still, we kept walking anyway. traverse the building slowly. Streetlights fading into pale blue air. Everything looked unfinished tonight, like the city itself felt tired. I walked without hearing my footsteps, hands buried deep inside my coat. Cold air settling into my lungs like silence, becoming physical. The river beside the road looked black, barely moving beneath the fog. A train sounded somewhere far away, then disappeared again. And for a moment I couldn't tell if I was lonely or simply empty. Some nights sadness feels loud, other nights it feels like nothing at all. Midnight fog, hollow streets, blue light trembling through the dark. And somewhere beneath the silence I felt pieces of myself drifting farther away. Not breaking, not healing, just fading quietly into the atmosphere. A convenience store glowed faintly in the distance, fluorescent light against endless blue-gray haze inside. A tired cashier stared at the television like sleep had abandoned him too. The whole city felt emotionally suspended, cars moving slowly through blurred intersections. Nobody looking at each other, everyone carrying visible exhaustion home. I remembered who I used to be before loneliness, the version of me that still spoke easily, still believed warmth lasted, still thought people stayed. Now even memory feels distant, like voices underwater. Maybe emotional exhaustion looks exactly like this. Midnight fog, hollow streets, cold rain drifting through empty roads, and every passing shadow beneath the streetlights looked briefly like someone I almost became. The city dissolving around me slowly, like identity itself losing shape. I think there's a point where heartbreak stops feeling emotional and becomes atmospheric instead. It enters the weather, the light in the silence between thoughts, the way you move through rooms at night, until one day you realize sadness no longer visits you. It lives with you. Still the midnight fog swallowed the skyline, streetlights disappearing one by one, the river moving silently beside the road while blue light faded into dawn. And somewhere between exhaustion and numbness I realized I wasn't waiting for anyone anymore, only waiting feel alive again. The city disappeared completely behind the mist. Morning remained far away, and the hollow streets kept carrying me forward without asking where I belonged. The train moves slowly beyond the city, buildings dissolving into open fields. Cloud shadows stretched across the hillsides, like memory fading into distance. I rested my head against the window, watching power lines blur into the sky. Everything outside looked unfinished in the beautiful way moving things often do. A little boy walked through the aisle laughing, holding snacks too big for his hands. An old woman slept beside her suitcase, morning newspapers folded in her lap. And somehow the ordinary softness of strangers made the world feel survivable again. Maybe peace arrived quietly through movement, through distance, through time. Open skies, fading vapor, golden light across the tracks. And somewhere between the countryside and silence, I felt old versions of myself dissolving slowly, not erased, not forgotten, just drifting farther behind me. The farther we moved from the coastline, the lighter my thoughts seemed to become. Like grief had finally loosened its hands around my ribs. I remembered the person I was last winter, how every night felt endless, how loneliness filled entire rooms, how I believed sadness would define me forever. Now even those memories look softer, like fog thinning beneath sunlight outside. Wind moved through endless grass fields, telephone poles disappearing one by one. The entire world stretching wider ahead. Maybe healing is simply this, realizing life continues beautifully without permission. Open skies, fading vapor, late afternoon light against the glass. And every passing mile carried me farther from the versions of myself that stayed trapped inside memory, towards something quieter, towards something alive again. I think survival changes how people see landscapes after heartbreak. Even empty fields feel emotional, even train stations feel sacred, even silence feels full. Because freedom, I realized the future no longer felt like something to fear, only something unknown. And maybe that was enough. The countryside glowed beneath the evening light. The city disappeared completely behind us, and the train kept moving quietly forward into whatever waited next. Morning light spilled across the water, soft gold trembling through the fog. The train moved quietly beside the coastline, like the world beginning again. Slowly, I watched fishing boats drift through pale blue distance, seagulls circling somewhere above the waves. Everything looks softer near the ocean. Even my thoughts move differently here. An old couple slept across the aisle, hands resting together unconsciously. The kind of love that survives quietly without needing to explain itself. And for the first time in months, my chest didn't feel heavy. Maybe healing begins the moment we stop trying to force it. Soft horizons, coastal light, the sea stretching endlessly beside me. And somewhere between the waves and sunrise, I finally started breathing differently. Not healed completely, not reborn dramatically, just softer, lighter, more willing to continue. The window glass carried traces of salt water, clouds drifting low above distant cliffs. A girl near the front hummed quietly to herself while headphones leaked soft music into the aisle. I remembered who I used to be last winter, the sleepless apartments, the fluorescent nights, the versions of me that almost disappeared inside loneliness. Strange how survival feels afterward. Not victorious, not cinematic, just quiet, like finally reaching warmer weather. Outside, the ocean kept unfolding endlessly. Inside, something restless finally grew still. Soft horizons, coastal light, morning fog dissolving above the shore. the water. Passengers slowly waking into morning while the train disappeared into open sky. And somewhere between ocean wind and sunlight, I realized I no longer wanted to stay inside of pain. There were still places left to see, still versions of myself waiting ahead, still mornings capable of surprising me. The coastline widened beneath the sunrise. The train continued quietly forward, and for the first time in a long while, the future didn't feel frightening. The city looked half asleep, blue reflections trembling across wet streets. Everything blurred softly beyond the windows, like memory losing focus. I took the late bus without thinking, just to keep moving for a while. The heater barely worked when her air slipping through the doors at every stop. A girl near the back slept against the glass, headphones glowing faintly blue. Two strangers whispered near the exit, their voices dissolving beneath engine noise. And somehow, watching everyone disappear into their own lives made me feel farther from mine. Some nights reality feels thin, like it could split open quietly. Static dreams, blue transit, streetlights melting into rain, and me floating somewhere between exhaustion and memory, watching the city dissolve itself beneath neon fog. Every station passing silently, every reflection looking unfamiliar, like part of me never fully returned. From the nights I spent loving you, a train crossed above the highway slowly, windows glowing against the dark sky. For one impossible second, I imagined us still inside it together. You asleep against my shoulder, my coat wrapped around your hands, the city drifting endlessly outside, while the future still felt warm. Funny how memory edits everything softly, leaving only light behind. Now even the painful nights look beautiful from far away. Maybe distance romanticizes sadness, the same way fog softens buildings. Static dreams, blue transit, the skyline trembling through condensation. Somewhere beneath all the passing headlights, I still carry the shape of us, like emotional static hidden beneath daily life. Not enough to destroy me anymore, just enough to follow me The convenience store still plays the songs you used to hum quietly. Fluorescent lights flickering overhead like tired stars above the city. I walked past our old apartment tonight. Someone else lives there now, but the fourth floor hallway still smells faintly like your perfume somehow. Rainwater blurred the traffic lights into long rivers of red and gold, and every passing train window reflected versions of us I couldn't hold on to. There's a cafe near the station where your favorite table stays empty every time I pass it. The silence feels personal. Maybe places remember people too. Maybe cities learn our sadness, because the city still remembers you. In midnight taxis and wet crosswalk reflections, and songs leaking softly through convenience store speakers. And every flickering light after midnight feels like your ghost passing beside me quietly, like you never fully left this place. The subway arrived nearly empty, blue light shaking across exhausted faces. A couple slept against each other silently, while rain slid slowly down the window. I wondered if somewhere in another part of the city you were still awake too. Maybe standing beneath another train platform, thinking about somebody else now. Funny how love ends physically long before memory catches up. I still know which side of the escalator you preferred. Still hear you laughing, crowded intersections, still turn slightly sometimes, expecting you beside me. The hardest part of losing someone is how ordinary the world remains afterward. Still the city remembers you, and rooftop fog and dim apartment windows, and the sound of late trains disappearing underground, and every lonely street after midnight feels suspended between memory and dream, like somewhere hidden beneath the rain. Our old life still survives. Maybe certain people become permanent, not in our future, but in our atmosphere. In the way winter air feels colder afterward, and the way songs suddenly hurt more at night, and the strange ache of passing familiar places alone. And maybe healing simply means learning how to walk beside ghosts peacefully. So the city still remembers you, even if the world moved forward quietly. The stations, the sidewalks, the coffee stains on old books, the pale lights inside rainy convenience stores. Everything still carries traces of you, and somewhere beneath flickering midnight lights, I think part of me always will too. The train disappeared into the tunnel slowly. The platform emptied again, and the city kept glowing softly without us. Tracks moved slowly through the fog. Streetlights dissolving across the glass. Radio voices fading in and out, like memories struggling to stay clear. The driver kept the heater too low, winter air slipping through the doors. I pulled my coat tighter around me, watching the city blur itself apart outside. Convenience stores glowed beneath the rain, blue signs trembling against puddles. Entire streets drifting silently past, like scenes from forgotten dreams. A song came through the radio suddenly, one you used to sing absent-mindedly. And for one unbearable second, the entire night belonged to you again. Funny how memory hides quietly until something small unlocks it. Static voices through the radio, winter air inside the taxi, neon reflections sliding endlessly across exhausted midnight streets. And somewhere between one traffic light and the next, I could almost feel you beside me again. Your head against the window, your cold hands inside my sleeves, like the city itself refused to let you disappear completely. We stopped at a red light near the river, fog swallowing the distant buildings whole. The driver hummed softly to himself, completely unaware that my entire past had reopened in the backseat. I remembered your sleepy voice at 3 a.m. asking if the city ever frightened me. I told you only when I have to face it alone. I didn't realize then how true that would become. Outside, pedestrians move beneath umbrellas silently, their reflections stretching across wet pavement. Everyone carrying visible things home. Maybe cities after midnight are just collections of unfinished stories. Static voices through the radio, rainwater glowing beneath the streetlights. Every passing building feeling haunted by versions of us that no longer exist. And the winter air inside the taxi still carries traces of your perfume somehow. Or maybe memories simply become stronger when loneliness settles into the body. I think heartbreak changes how people see cities after love ends. Every train station feels colder, every apartment window feels farther away. Every familiar street becomes a museum. And maybe healing isn't forgetting, maybe it's learning how to travel through memory without letting it destroy you. Still the taxi kept moving slowly through the rain, radio static trembling beneath soft music. The skyline fading into pale blue fog, like the night itself was dissolving. Somewhere between exhaustion and acceptance, I finally understood. You were never really haunting the city. I was. The driver asked where to stop. I looked out at the sleeping buildings, and for a moment I honestly didn't know where home was anymore. Elevator lights flickered softly. Floor numbers glowing pale against the dark. Somewhere above me, someone laughed behind a closed apartment door. Rainwater followed me into the lobby, tiny reflections beneath fluorescent white. The security guard barely looked up, half asleep beside the television glow outside. The city kept breathing mechanically, trains moving underground, windows glowing in distant towers, entire life continuing without pause. Meanwhile, I stood holding cold takeout containers, trying to remember when loneliness became routine. Maybe sadness loses its sharpness eventually and becomes architecture instead. Nobody notices the rain at midnight, not the taxis crossing empty intersections, not the strangers staring into their phones, not the tired elevators humming through buildings. And somewhere inside all this movement, I became another quiet silhouette, returning home beneath fluorescent lights, with your memory folded into my coat pocket. The apartment smelled faintly like detergent and air that hadn't moved all day. I dropped my keys beside the counter, the sound echoing too loudly through the room. Your old sweater still hung near the doorway. The winter was almost over now. I keep telling myself to move it, but somehow never do. The microwave clock blinked to 14. Blue light filling the kitchen softly. Outside the rain kept falling without asking anyone to care. And maybe that's the hardest part, how grief becomes ordinary eventually. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just quietly woven into daily life. Nobody notices the rain at midnight, or the way silence changes people slowly, or how certain names still ache softly years after they stop being spoken aloud. And the elevators keep humming endlessly, carrying strangers towards sleepless rooms, while somewhere beneath the fluorescent quiet, I continue carrying versions of you. Maybe adulthood is just this, learning how to survive loneliness gracefully, learning how to make coffee for one, learning how to sleep beside absence without collapsing under its weight. And maybe cities feel so lonely at night, because every glowing window hides someone trying not to think too deeply about who they miss. Still the rain kept falling after midnight, soft against glass and empty sidewalks. The elevators rising and descending endlessly, like mechanical hearts inside the buildings. And somewhere between exhaustion and numbness, I realized the world never stopped moving after you left. Only my memory did. And another sleepless night quietly entered the city. The television flickered quietly, blue light moving across the room. You were reading something on your phone. I pretended not to notice outside. Rain pressed softly against the windows, like the night was trying not to wake us. Your sweater rested on the chair beside me, still carrying your perfume. And suddenly I felt afraid of ordinary things disappearing. You asked if I wanted tea. I said, only if you're making some too. Small sentences, small moments, trying to hold together something already slipping. And the silence between us didn't feel awkward anymore. That's what scared me. The silence felt familiar, like we'd been living inside it for months. Your eyes drifting toward the window, while mine stayed lost inside the dark. And somewhere between midnight and the sound of rain against the roof, I realized we were slowly becoming memory. You fell asleep before the movie ended, your hand resting near mine on the couch, close enough to touch, but neither one of us moved. The kitchen light still glowed faintly, coffee cups left in the sink. Everything looked painfully beautiful, in the quiet way sad things often do. I watched the city through the curtains, fog swallowing distant buildings whole, and I wondered if love disappears slowly, just so people can survive it. You shifted softly in your sleep, still reaching toward my side unconsciously, like some part of you hadn't let go yet. The silence felt familiar, like an old song we knew too well. Every unfinished conversation still hanging softly in the air. And somewhere between exhaustion, the pale blue coming through the blinds, I realized we were slowly becoming memory. Maybe this is how love leaves, not with anger, not with goodbye, but quietly through smaller touches, shorter conversations, long pauses, tired eyes, until one day the person beside you feels farther away, and the city outside. Still the silence felt beautiful in a strange, heartbreaking kind of way. You're breathing soft beside me while the rain slowly faded out. And even knowing nothing stays forever, I wanted that moment to survive. Just one more night before we became something people only remember. The television turned itself off eventually. Morning light entered the room. You were were still sleeping beside me, and I kept listening to the silence we built together.
Smoke drifted slowly above the river, blurring the buildings into pale light. The skyline looked almost unreal tonight, like the city was forgetting itself. I stood alone above the traffic, hands buried deep inside my coat, watching headlights move endlessly below, like veins glowing through the dark.
Somewhere beneath all those windows, people were falling asleep beside each other, making tea, watching movies, living ordinary lives.
And somehow it felt more lonely than silence. The wind smelled faintly like rain and distant cigarette smoke, the kind of night you would have loved. Funny how certain people remain present in places they never reached. The skyline looked unreal tonight, buildings dissolving softly into fog, smoke rising slowly above the river, like memories leaving the body, standing there beneath the cold air. Cities, compared to time, compared to the endless movement of the world. Still, your absence felt enormous inside me. A helicopter crossed the skyline slowly, red lights blinking through the haze. Somewhere music drifted upward faintly from a rooftop party far below. I remembered the night we came here together, sharing cheap coffee beneath the winter lights. You said, one day the city won't hurt anymore. I asked, how do you know? You smiled softly and answered, because nothing survives unchanged forever. At the time, I thought you meant sadness. Now I think you meant us. Maybe healing begins the moment we stop resisting time. Still the skyline looked unreal tonight, glass towers glowing like distant stars, the river carrying reflections endlessly toward places I'll never see. And somewhere between the fog and silence, I stopped searching for the old version of us, because maybe love isn't meant to stay frozen forever. Maybe it's supposed to drift like smoke above dark water. Cities teach strange lessons after midnight, how people disappear quietly, how memories soften around the edges, how loneliness becomes survivable if you keep walking long enough. And maybe adulthood is simply this, learning how to carry unfinished love gracefully, without letting it harden you. So tonight the skyline shimmered beneath the fog, the river moved silently through the dark, smoke rising endlessly into cold winter air, like every memory trying to become lighter. And for the first time in a long while, your absence no longer felt like drowning. waited quietly for the city.
We missed the last train home again, so we walked beneath the orange lights. The city almost empty now, only rainwater shining on the streets. You kept your hands inside your sleeves, cold air drifting through your hair. I watched your shadow move beside me, like something I was scared to lose. There were things we never talked about, small silences growing over time. But somehow your presence still felt softer than anywhere else in my life. And I wonder if love fades slowly, or if people only notice late. We kept walking until the streetlights disappeared, the whole city dissolving quietly into fog and midnight air. And even now, after all the distance, after every complicated part, you still feel like home to me. A bus passed somewhere in the darkness, its headlights briefly crossing your face. You looked beautiful in that moment, in the tired, honest kind of way. You asked, do you think people change forever? I laughed softly under my breath, because I didn't know how to tell you. You were already changing next to me. Still you moved closer when the wind got colder, like your body remembered us, even when your heart felt uncertain. And maybe that's what hurts the most, love staying after certainty leaves. So we kept walking until the streetlights disappeared, past the quiet stores and empty intersections where no one else could see us. And even now, inside every memory, inside every sleepless night, you still feel like home to me. Maybe home was never a place, maybe it was always this. Your shoulder brushing against mine, your voice half lost in the wind, the way you looked at the rain, like it understood something we didn't. And maybe someday we'll become strangers completely, but tonight you are still beside me. So we kept walking while the whole city faded into blue, streetlights disappearing one by one, like old conversations do. And somewhere between the silence and the sound of distant cars, I realized loving you had become part of who I am. Because even now, with everything changing, with morning slowly getting close, you still feel like home. The sky turned pale above the buildings, neither one of us spoke. We just kept walking together until the streetlights disappeared. The evening carried warmth through the streets, soft orange light across apartment windows. Summer moving slowly toward night, like it never wanted to leave. We We rode bicycles near the river that year, laughing at nothing important. Your oversized sweater sleeves dancing in the wind behind you. Someone played old music from a balcony. The smell of convenience store coffee mixed with humid evening air, and everything felt painfully alive. I remember thinking, if happiness exists, maybe it looks exactly like this. Funny how certain summers continue glowing inside memory forever. Velvet air, distant summer, golden light beneath the trees, and somewhere between the laughter and sunset, we became part of each other quietly, not dramatically, not perfectly, just honestly. You took blurry photos on disposable cameras. Most of them turned out overexposed, but somehow that made them feel real, like memory refusing sharp edges. We sat near the river after dark, watching trains cross distant bridges. Your head resting lightly against my shoulder while warm wind moved through the city. Back then we believed nights could last forever. We believed love could survive unchanged. We believed youth itself was permanent, and maybe that innocence was beautiful too. Now the memory feels softer than sadness, more like gratitude. Velvet air, distant summer, streetlights glowing after rain, and every old photograph inside my mind feels warmer now than heartbreaking, like time finally wrapped kindness around what used to hurt. I think healing changes memory slowly. The painful parts blur first, then the fear disappears. Then one day you remember laughter more clearly than loss, and suddenly the past no longer feels heavy, only far away, like music drifting from another neighborhood at night. Still the velvet evening carried us forward, summer fading slowly into darkness, bicycles disappearing beneath the streetlights, while distant conversations floated through open windows. And somewhere between memory and acceptance, I realized not every love story needs to survive forever, to remain beautiful forever. The river reflected the city lights softly. Summer drifted deeper into night, and somewhere inside the warm distant air, part of us still laughs together. Somewhere after midnight, the apartment felt too large. Rain moved softly on the windows, like it knew we'd fallen apart. You sat curled up on the sofa, phone glowing inside your hands. I watched the steam rise from your coffee, disappear before you drank it. We used to tell each other everything. Now conversations end halfway, like both of us are waiting for the other one to leave. And your voice sounds softer lately, like it's already far away. We stopped talking slowly, one unfinished sentence at a time. Long pauses in the kitchen, eyes drifting past each other at night. Somewhere after midnight, I realized what scared me most wasn't losing you completely. It was watching us grow cold. Your sweater hanging near the doorway still smelled faintly like your perfume. The hallway lights stayed on all evening. Neither one of us moved to turn it off. Outside, cars dissolved into the rainfall. Inside, the silence filled the room. You asked if I was still awake, but I think you meant, do you still love me the same? I almost reached for your hand, but something stopped me halfway there. We stopped talking slowly, like people scared to hear the truth. Every little moment breaking without either one of us meaning to. Somewhere after midnight, you leaned your head against the wall, and I could feel the distance growing, even sitting right beside you. Maybe nothing really happened. Maybe love just fades like light, quietly without warning. Without one dramatic night, just tired eyes and smaller words, and learning how silence hurts. Still we stayed there after midnight, rain reflecting through the room. Your shadow moving in the blue light, like a memory arriving too soon. And when you finally fell asleep, I watched the city through the glass, thinking how the warmest moments always disappear so fast. The coffee turned cold beside you. The hallway light stayed on. And somewhere after midnight, we stopped talking slow.